Hi and welcome to Degen BJJ with me, Irish Mike.
And me, Degen Drifter, also known as Ken.
Right, Ken, what's going on this week?
Straight off the mats again today. For me, not so much for you, as you're nursing some type of bloated foot, aren't you?
Yeah, it's just I know it's just a little bit swollen. So I think I got caught in a foot lock or an ankle lock or something where I just tap kind of basically when
someone grabbed hold of your feet.
Yeah, Bobby Anikoff, blaming you. Calling people out. It's not that bad. No, it's just a little bit of swelling about the size of two of your fingers together just across my ankle there. So it was fine when I went home, fine yesterday, and then next thing just walking back from the cafe, if you want to be fucking posh about it.
Ooh la la, Mr. Frenchman.
Yeah, walking back from the cafe, and it just started giving a bit of a niggle, and as it went through the day it just started actually swelling up a bit. And I took some medication for it, but it didn't work. So just said, better off not chancing it this morning. It wasn't too bad this morning when I woke up, but just climbing up the ladder there into the studio.
Into the attic studio that we...
It felt a little bit painful. So I might train tomorrow night, but we'll see what happens. But that's all with me. How was your training today? And
it was good, man. Like I say, we were meant to meet up for a morning train and then record. Unfortunately, you met for the recording, not the training. But no, it was a good session, man. Like I said last week, I'm back to getting 6 to 8 hours a week and then doing the off the mat stuff as well. So feeling good most of the time.
Yeah, when you can, yeah.
Exactly, yeah. So yeah, we were going to carry on with some of the listeners' questions from last week, weren't we? One of the things is, I don't know how entertaining this is for the listeners, but I'm going to talk about it anyway because it's our podcast.
Yeah.
So
if you don't like it, don't switch off.
Don't switch off because the gold is coming, guys. Just hang around. We'll
walk out of the room.
We'll get to some funny anecdotes in a bit. Trust me. But before that, you'll have to put up with some ramblings from me and Michael. So yeah, like the thing I've really enjoyed since we've started this is each morning we'll look through the listeners. It does like for people who don't know Spotify, the podcast app will let you know like what country, and if you're on a computer you can see where actually like individual regions or cities that they've come from, but it will break down what countries your listeners are from. So like, obviously I expected, UK and Ireland. For us, both of us lived in Australia for a while as well. So like, UK, Ireland and Oz were ones I expected, but I love like the random niche ones that you'll wake up and you'll be like, oh, Greece,
yeah. Who the hell is listening to us in Greece?
Who's listening to us in Greece? Another one that for me was like the Philippines and South Africa.
That was unbelievable when I seen the Philippines.
Yeah, I can't think who that is, and I can't think. And there are a few other niche ones as well. I'm not sure if you can remember any of them, but off the top of my head, those were the three that really I'm like got no idea who you guys are. So before we get into the questions we've got already, look, I'm not looking for a massive like spiel on how you found the podcast, but guys, if you are listening from any wonderful parts of the world, do reach out, drop a message on Insta or something, because we'd love to just have a quick back and forth, or at least know who these people are. But we appreciate the listeners wherever you're based.
100%, yeah.
Wherever you're based. There was another thing I wanted to kind of touch on before we got into the outstanding questions was that the final story I told last time about the chip fella. I've had a couple of I had a little crisis of character after telling it. I was like, I feel like maybe I was punching down, or maybe taking the mick out of someone that was trying to get their martial arts journey off the ground. But one thing I want to make really clear is, firstly, this fella was in his 30s. I never mentioned his age, and it could have been like some poor 15-year-old kid that was trying to get his first martial arts class in, and now he's getting mocked by.
I think it's really funny how you're feeling guilty about this, because I love that story.
But a fully grown man. But the other thing, because I was speaking to my missus about it, I was like, oh shit, I feel a little bit bad about telling that story. And she was like, no, but the whole way through you were like, there was never...
There's no malice in it.
And there was never an indication of like, oh, he shouldn't be turning up to train. No one at any point, even after his family rolled in with their chip dinner, no one said, oh guys, you need to take that outside, it was all very a welcoming community. So I think it does kind of portray what we were trying to, although it was a funny story, and I definitely accentuated certain parts of it for humour. I think it kind of encapsulated what we were looking to discuss, which was the community and welcoming aspect of it. Jiu-jitsu, that is, regardless of where you're from. So yeah, then with that, I think another thing that came back off the back of that story was another potential oddball that came through our current gym, Matt House, which was the...
Josh reminded of me in training. I was saying, were you there then? Because I don't think you were there or I was there, but we were both told the story.
Yeah, I wasn't there. I've caught up with a few people afterwards, but like I'm happy to kind of butcher the story between the two of us now and then get somebody that's got a bit more of a handle on it to come in and tell the real version when they're a guest on in the near future. But so the version of it I heard, and you can kind of fill in and you can correct me.
I think you were correcting me and it sounded more right what you were saying.
Was this geezer turns up wearing a gi with a brown belt over his shoulders.
He came in with it over his shoulders.
Yeah, came in with it over his shoulders, walks in and...
stood at the front of the class as well before it started.
So yeah, obviously you line up at the start of the class and then before you start the warm-up and you line up in rank order. So he lined up right at the front. I think one of the high belts had a chat with him before and he said that like, oh, I'm a brown belt in jiu-jitsu. And they'd asked, I think, again, I'm going to tell this story as I remember it, and I'm happy to be told I'm wrong, but I think he said he trained somewhere in Brazil or he trained somewhere in the States, and he'd been very vague about his kind of training, which is, for me... comes
to light a bit more as the story goes on.
It is a massive, like, alarm bell for if somebody's like, oh yeah, they're a brown belt, but they gloss over their training experience. Because people are normally, jiu-jitsu guys are super willing to tell you where they've trained, like me, I'm bloody going through an itemised list of every gym I've dropped into in South America.
And you're going to hear them all, so keep listening.
Don't worry guys, keep listening, they're coming. So they got into the training session. I think he was struggling with basic stuff like hip escapes with the warm-up and stuff like that,
Yeah, he should have these things down. The warm-up should be down for
stuff that you expect no brown belt to be struggling with. And he's saying, I haven't trained in a while, I'm a little bit rusty. So everyone gives him benefit of the doubt, and
because we're that nice.
And we're that nice, well, yeah.
Until the rolls start.
No, to be honest, I think our coach did a pretty good thing. Like they didn't, that meme of the fellow in the yellow jacket coming out from behind the tree, rubbing his hands together. You see someone who's a brown belt drop into a gym and they're struggling with the warm-ups. The white belts and the blue belts in the class, and if I'd have been there, I'd have been included in this. They're like, oh, today might be my chance to catch a brown belt. Like when you see that. So, I think after the warm up, it became very clear that maybe he was either very rusty or maybe his skill level wasn't reflective of his belt. And then when it came to the the drilling portion of the class, I think he was with. He was with one of the brown or purple belts.
I think he was with Shaz.
I was going to say it's when Shaz would have still been a brown belt. I'd have thought. So he was with Shaz, and it was like I think
Shaz will demolish anyone.
Yeah, and Shaz also won't.
He's a really nice guy.
He's a nice guy, but he will call a spade in a sense that I think he turned around to our coach and some of the other guys and was like, I don't know what's going on with this fella, but
he's not brown belt.
He's not done jiu-jitsu before, and then. He came to the rolling portion of the class, and I think everyone that rolled with him was like rolling with someone who it was in their first class.
Josh said he tapped the kind of pressure. I think he nearly mother's milked him, but not intentionally. He just put pressure on him and he tapped.
Maybe that says more about Josh than this blue belt, but sorry for this brown belt. But yeah, so everyone ran through him in the rolling portion of the class, and they had a little chat afterwards, and it turned out. At that point, he was saying he was a Japanese jiu-jitsu brown belt.
It's not real jiu-jitsu.
And I'll stay out of that one. And Dom said to him, like, well, if you're wearing that belt here, you're
really brown belt in BJJ.
You really should be a Brazilian. So he's like, look, well, you're welcome to come back whenever you want, but please, if you do, put your white belt on, line up in the fundamentals class, or come to a mixed levels class. Not an advanced class, and then learn some Brazilian jiu-jitsu the same way that all of us do. Put in the sweat on the mats, and you'll get better incrementally. And we never saw the fella again, which seems to be one of the kind of caveats of these oddball stories. Is they drop in, they're welcome, they do some odd stuff, and they're still welcome, and then they leave, and we never see him again. But sadly, with this one, he left. Two. You probably know more about this than me because I haven't seen them myself.
Yeah, I only looked there lately, and I'm only going off what he obviously left 2 reviews going off the comment because Dom replies to the reviews obviously, and he left one with 2 stars from one account and one with 3 stars from another account. So that just kind of tells you the mindset of this person, that they're leaving 2 reviews off for one visit, but not actually saying anything,
which
just
is
devaluing the rating of the gym.
But if your goal was to devalue it, surely you'd leave 2
something.
Or
1 star.
You'd leave 2 1-star reviews.
Yeah.
To leave. This just seems like someone that's a little bit unhinged to me, mate. Leaving a 2 and a 3-star review, and I think
I call him soft. I was just thinking a bit soft.
In Dom's reply, he was like, I think you seem to be a little bit confused. Was the kind of opening line of it that I remember seeing that when you showed it to me. But the kind of, I think you've got a section of it there. The kind of underlying message within it is kind of pretty true. And yeah,
I tell you, he said this at the very end, and do you know what? It's one of the best quotes, I think, that describes jiu-jitsu brilliantly, and even the community of it, because if you look at it from another aspect, it's the community of it. And he said, there are many places in the world where faking it until you make it can work, but not on the BJJ mats. Brazilian jiu-jitsu are the most honest places you can find. Brazilian jiu-jitsu mats are the most honest places you can find. Wealth, job title, ethnicity, gender, age, nationality, nothing matters on the mat except your BJJ skills, hard work, dedication and attitude. I tell you, man, should that not be on a fucking t-shirt or something? That's unbelievable.
Tell him, mate. He'll probably print one out. But no, it kind of sums it up, really, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's, if he's taking that from somewhere brilliant, if that's his own.
It seems like it'd be his own.
Seems like
that's the same thing he'd say.
Yeah, the sort of thing he'd say. Very stoic, very to the point.
Yeah.
But no, so yeah, there was another oddball story for you, and Chip Fella, if you're a listener somehow, I said to Mike afterwards, I was like, I don't think he's the type of geezer that owns a phone, but if you do, reach out. We'll give you a shout out. We'll get you on as a guest, and
please come back.
Yeah, please do come back.
Gym is always open for everyone.
The gym is always open. Same as that fake brown belt. If he wants to learn some jiu-jitsu, he's welcome back. But again, I don't think these 2 people are listening to the podcast. So shall we?
Well, considering it's only everyone in the gym and our family members, probably.
That's it.
And all these people in the Philippines, Greece, America. Sorry, we're on world domination tour right now, so we're just big up ourselves. Like,
I don't think everyone in the gym is even listening at this point. That'd be significantly more listeners than we're getting. But it's
only a bit of fun anyway.
Exactly, we're having a great crack while doing it. So from 2 people that probably will never listen to this podcast, we'll move into some of the questions from our actual listeners. So
Scott actually said something. He said he DM'd me. The Scott that used to train with us, but he's in Windsor. The commute is a bit too much for him. But he said, it's funny how you started off in episode 1 saying we probably won't name anyone, and then straight away in episode 2 you're naming and shaming.
Yes, I do want to.
We took a dramatic draw.
I do want to clear that up. Like, any story that includes incriminating details, I will not be naming and shaming anyone, even myself. I've got a job to keep hold of. I've got a mortgage to pay. But most of the stories when
I will shame myself, no problem.
Yeah.
I'm there. I work in construction. Come at me. Try cancel culture on me. See how it works.
Anonymity of Irish Mike, the Irishman on the building site. That's not
drinking cider.
They're gonna have a long list of Michaels that are Irish that work on building sites to work their way through. But yeah, jokes aside, I will not be naming anyone in the incriminating stories. To be honest, the podcast, I think we thought originally it might be more towards that, but we naturally settled into more jiu-jitsu centric conversations anyway.
I don't think everybody wants to listen to us and our nights out and the mad nights. I think there's certain stories with us, but the jiu-jitsu side of it is why we're here and what brought us together.
Exactly, and if the Venn diagram overlaps, if jiu-jitsu and the sesh, then those stories are the ones to tell. But
I have a good story. I'm banking.
You're banking it.
Yeah, I'm banking.
Right. We'll save it for maybe one of the next few episodes where we're running low on material. But yeah, no, that was I was quite conscious of that fact that we had originally said we'll keep it anonymous, and then literally name dropping everyone we can, and then even tagging them in the feed. But
to be fair, we're probably going to have a couple of the lads on from. I think we've taken a really different path on the podcast that we did think we were going to go. And I think it's actually better and it's more fun, and we can promote people inside our own gym that we think are great, and friends of ours like Lucas from other gyms. You know what I mean? It's all good all the way around. Like,
and gradually use it to leverage ourselves some good training in the south. You know, I'm thinking about number one here, Mike. If the listeners are great, sure, love them to bits, but looking out for myself. No, to be honest, we hardly know what we're going to do each day, and I'm not talking about the podcast. I'm talking about in our daily lives.
Yeah.
So the fact we managed to meet up once a week to have these chats, you know, they could be on any topic. It really, you know, one of the guys we were rolling with last week was like, podcast is going to take like some hard left turn into, once we've got a loyal base of listeners, we'll take a hard left turn into deep dark conspiracy theories.
Yeah, we're going 10 planet. We'll just be 10 planets.
We're going to get the tinfoil hats out and really blow people's minds.
Lizard people and
wait for that around episode 52. Once we've got a year in the bag,
once we get enough listeners to get sponsorship,
we'll tell them the truth about the lizard people, then, Mike. But until that day, we'll keep it on the down low. So Scott had obviously, that wasn't...
Sorry, that wasn't a question, that was just a DM.
Question, but it was a statement that I think was worth looking at. Devon, one of our training partners, who's also competed, came to Euros with us, good member of the gym, a white belt, hard working, asked for an episode or asked some comments on our thoughts around nutrition. Is it something they want to work on moving forwards? And, you know, they wanted some stories and opinions on it. So I kind of joked last episode that this might be a beer versus cider discussion. So Michael will regularly send the group chat a photo of a handful of Skittles and a can of cider, and with a caption saying "my dinner." So
that happened last week, and that's not regularly happen. It's usually just a can of cider and no Skittles.
He's obviously upped his nutrition game recently because he's getting those important carbohydrates from the Skittles. But do you have? Are you a believer in, you know, outtraining a bad diet, or do you just do neither? Have a bad diet and don't train enough?
No, it's not that I don't believe in it. It's just that, like, what tastes nice. Yeah. I'm basically the child that grew up. Do you know what I mean? And I'm just like, no, I'm going to eat what I want. That's my missus. Like, I'm the most basic eater. I'll eat chicken or steak with spuds or chips, or I'll chicken curry. That's it. That's my dinner. Any dinner. Don't care. If you give me chicken curry every day of the week, I'd eat it. Give me steak and spuds every day of the week, I'd eat it. I don't really do that. My diet during the week is generally breakfast at a cafe at 10 o'clock. Maybe a toasted cheese sandwich at 1, maybe not. Maybe just a cup of tea. And then I go training. And then I'll come home and I'll have 2 cans of cider if I'm feeling like it. And then I'll go to bed.
It really is a miracle you're alive.
I mean, I don't know. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm going to try and improve my diet now, so I'm hoping we'll see changes for the next competition, because I'm going to start eating a bit more, and as I said, I have to get the stuff that Tom Lucas was recommended, the electrolytes and that. I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to look at treating my body a bit better, and maybe not drinking those 2 cans when I get home, but tell you, man, can of cider when you get home from training at 9 o'clock.
There's nothing, nice beer after training is good. Yeah, to be honest, Devon, when I see you, I recommend a list of podcasts that can go into way better depth and actually give you some useful content on nutrition.
But you do actually look after yourself, like you do eat correctly, and like you take protein and stuff like that. You take PCAs
my diet. Luke kind of talked about this briefly when he was on about picking your poison, right?
Yeah.
You know, he's like, I eat pretty clean because I like to take my excess calories in via alcohol, and I'm not miles away from that, but I also have a terrible sweet tooth, in a sense that, like, if I start eating crap, I will be eating crap until I physically cannot stuff any more into my mouth. So like,
it's 9:30 and I had a caramel bar half an hour ago for my breakfast, like. And about
breakfast of champions. Because you're not going to the cafe today because you're here recording.
No, I'll be going to the cafe after we're going back from recording.
Good for you. Good for you, brother. You get those calories in. But yeah, I do. I think someone described it once as an 80-20 diet. Okay. So 80% of my diet I focus on actually, you know, making sure I don't, you know, life's way too short to count calories and to be one of those people that, like, watches their macros, like, you know, put stuff into a food tracker, you know.
Yeah.
If you're a top level of the sport and you're weight cutting, or you're a bodybuilder and, you know, you're very focused.
If you're getting paid for it.
Very focused on competition. Yeah, that's actually a pretty good line to draw. If you're getting paid for it,
you should treat it
cool,
like... Yeah. So, I mean, otherwise it's only...
So there's only three people in jiu-jitsu that should be... IBJJF don't pay you, so there's not many people that are getting paid. Obviously people get sponsorship deals and deals like that. I'm being facetious about the lack of money in jiu-jitsu, but... I agree. I don't think you should go into that real minutiae of details, you know.
I'd say just do what you want, really. I mean, like, if you're expecting, like, I'm not expecting to be the next big thing or anything like that. Do you know what I mean? Not even fucking known. But, like, if you're expecting to be good, you put in what you get out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, I'm always, like you say, alcohol is bad for swelling, inflammation.
Yeah, the most inflamed man on the planet.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just walking around with an inflamed ankle at the moment.
Yeah. The thing we didn't tell you at the start, listeners, that we didn't tell you at the start of the recording is this ankle blew up like 24 hours after. He was fine after the training session, and then
2 cans cider when we went.
I was saying he's actually got veins that are so constricted at this point that the blood flow from 2 days ago, it took it that long to get down to that point of his foot. But yeah, with regards to my diet, 80-20. So 80% of the time I eat good stuff, and I focus on, you know, making sure I'm eating, you know, always lead with protein, but protein, fats and carbs, like good balanced diet. And then
like what would you say, like, just a basic breakfast, lunch would be like?
Breakfast would be like, I make my own granola normally, so it would be like granola but with a decent amount of protein and fats. It's got a lot of seeds and stuff in it, with yogurt and some fruit. And then lunch would be like chicken, rice and avocado, and then dinner might be fish, salad and rice. Yeah,
because I mean, you're in good nick, like, that's why I'm asking, because like, look, I ain't going on with a beer belly, but like, that's because I drink tons of cider. But
last week it was Ben, now it's me. Jeez, yeah.
Yeah, Ben with the blue eyes.
Yeah, you've now I'm in good nick. I appreciate you.
No, but you are in good nick, man.
Oh,
do you know what I mean?
Thank you, brother. But yeah, so 80% of the time I'll focus on what I'm eating. 20% of the time it would either be junk food or, you know, going out on the beers with my mates. So normally I'll pick like a day of the week, like, you know, Monday till Saturday lunchtime I'll eat pretty reasonably, and then from Saturday lunchtime till Sunday evening I'll do what the hell I want and deal with the consequences on Monday. So yeah, like, to be honest, it's about what you can sustain as well, because, you know, for me, crash diets don't really work. You do them for a few weeks, or you might focus on something like...
You have to enjoy what you're eating.
Yeah, like, I'm quite lucky that the food I do eat, even when I'm focusing on good food, it will be...
You enjoy the taste of it.
It'll be nice food. Like, you know, I'll spend a bit of time in the kitchen doing my meal prep for work and stuff. And Dev, I'll catch up with you when I see you and give you some better recommendations of people that could actually give you some strategies on nutrition, because I don't know exactly where you're at. So we'll have more of a chat of that. But appreciate the question. And yeah, if I was to give you one bit of advice for it, it would be, you know, make small changes you can stick to gradually, rather than trying to completely revamp the entire thing overnight.
It never lasts when you try and do that.
Yeah, and like, I know that, like, we were joking, but I do think you can't out-train a bad diet. You know, you will notice the positive impacts of appropriate fueling. Instagram pages to look at. The Fight Dietitian is a good one. That's, without looking any up now, I can say, the Fight Dietitian and the Dojo Dietitian, they're both guys that specialise in combat sports and endurance sports and nutrition for that. So yeah, that was.
If you're looking to take steroids, you can take DMP. It might kill you, has killed some people, but it's disclaimer. Not saying take it. Have taken it.
This isn't sanctioned. The opinions of Mark alone here. Perhaps not even his. I'm not sure.
No, not anymore. But like, yeah, back in the day, I'd fucking go on DMP. You pussy.
So that's Mike's 2 cents on nutrition. It's like, you can't out-train a bad diet, but you can out-juice a bad diet.
You can out-juice anything, mate, if you try hard enough. Yeah. Except that. That might catch you first.
So we touched on that. We were just saying there. Were you saying I'm in good nick? So I did want to touch on Ben's Ben had a question for you, which I think, you know, a lot of the listeners wanted to ask. You know, you mentioned that you and Luke went off in private and had a conversation about Ben's blue eyes last week. So what were the details of that conversation, Mark? Other than the fact is, because I mean, like, this, the whole reason I kind of went in on Luke on how short his shorts were around that conversation, not specifically. And I think I'm talking out of turn without Luke here to defend himself. But I just said, Ben's eyes are so blue you'd nearly fall into him. And he goes, I'm not gay, but... And it wasn't really a private conversation because Squish was there as well and we were in the pub. But you know what I mean? Like, well,
I mean, but maybe if Lucas had one too many and Ben was there, who knows?
Look out, Ben.
Look out, Ben. Because he is a black belt as well. He could fuck you if he wanted.
Fucking hell, Mike.
Sorry, just have to go there, don't I?
Yeah.
But yeah, keep jiu-jitsu gay. Next question.
Moving swiftly on. I wanted to loop back to Leo's questionable question about the first. So He said it was anything we'd want to hear on the next upcoming episodes, and he said stories. First kiss, first wank, first shag, and last time you shat yourself. The thing that jumps out to me as interesting in this question is he wanted to know our firsts for everything other than the time we shat ourselves, which makes me think he's
You're
more
not going there, are you?
No, I'm not going to go there.
Okay.
No, I wouldn't do that to you. I'm going to allude to it now because I can't.
I just dug a hole for myself, didn't I?
It seems to me like he's more interested in shit than the other things. Which, you okay, Leo?
I don't remember my first wank, Leo, but I do remember my last. And I ain't going to talk about it.
Yeah, I don't think we can answer any of those, mate. I appreciate the listening, and as you know, you have been a loyal listener. I am going to say, look, anyone in the Reading area that's looking, you've got kids that's looking for their first motor or anything like that. Look up Caversham Cars on Instagram. That's one of my boys, Leo, who's been a loyal listener since day one. Hit them up. They've got good second-hand motors at affordable prices. I know a lot of the listeners are parents that have got their kids that might be coming up to their driving age, so that's something to look out. Sorry we can't answer that question, Leo, but we did.
Are you after getting sponsorship money that you haven't shared with me?
I don't know, mate. I can't.
You really have stumbling over your words since I just asked that.
I can't confirm nor deny there, mate. No, this is just trying to help. The whole point of this is to lift up the people around us. So
rising tide raises all ships.
Apologies, mate. We ain't going to answer your questions about kisses, wanks, shags, and shitting ourselves.
DM me. I'll tell you everything.
Mike's got a long list of stories that he can't share on the podcast, or isn't willing to share on the podcast. So if you're interested in finding out more, PM him. But yeah, we answered your oddball question, and keep them coming, mate. Keep the listening.
Yeah, thanks very much, mate.
Cheers, man. Josh asked, is it ever acceptable to wear a piss yellow gi?
Okay, he did not say piss yellow.
Oh,
okay?
maybe
I call it the piss yellow gi, and me alone and I'll call it piss yellow gi.
Maybe I added that in myself.
Yeah, I mean, in fairness, it's on point, but it's called lemonade gi. It's by Hyperfly. Hyperfly, if you want to sponsor me, don't take Ken's comments on board. You know what I mean? You can give me. About it being piss, yeah. It's called lemonade, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but I have yellow gi, and I had an unspoken rule where I'd wear it on Saturdays. My coach didn't know it was an unspoken rule. I just thought, because it really pissed him off, I think, the first time he seen me in it, because his response was, "This is why I should have a uniform gis." So, but then the second time he actually brought sunglasses in, and every time I'd run by on the warm up, he'd put them on, which was quite funny, like.
Yeah, he said the other day he made a brilliant comment about it. He's like, I have to comment on this every time Michael wears it now, because nobody buys a gi like that expecting to just like blend in.
Yeah,
they want to be noticed and they want to be commented on. So he's actually given Michael the nickname O Limon, or O Limonche, which is like a lemon in Portuguese. But for me, it's kind of poetic because it's almost like an Irish surname. Like your current surname's like
O Limon.
Yeah.
I was nearly going to change my Instagram handle. I was so happy he gave me a Portuguese nickname.
Michael O Limon. So yeah, it's fitting. So it might not be acceptable, Josh, but to be honest, it's kind of made Mike's year because now he's got a personalised nickname from our coach, which not many of us have got. So
you know what I mean? I'm getting in closer and closer to the inner circle.
It's part of the inner circle now. And Paddy's question's the one I want to spend a bit of time on, but I was going to, we talked about Scott briefly earlier in his comments around name dropping, but he also did.
Scott, a fellow Degen, put him in a taxi home one night.
Did you?
Yeah, I didn't remember. No, we got home.
I don't think I was there then. Yeah. So he's got a bit of Degen in him. He's a rugby boy, isn't he? So of course he's got some.
Of course he's, way more than us, I'd say.
Yeah,
rugby boys are just.
Goes without saying.
Rugby lads are just crazy.
I think everyone from the UK kind of knows a group of rugby boys, and they just get up to stuff where you're like.
I think jiu-jitsu is gay, but like I hear rugby stories and
the rugby social nights out stories. I'm not going to get into them. Yeah. They seem to that would overlap actually with a lot of Leo's questions around first kiss, first wank, first shag. Last time you shat yourself,
and it all happened in the rugby.
It was all
in the training room.
All happened on one rugby social or in the showers after a match. But yeah, he joined.
Scott just had to go on really hard in rugby players.
Yeah, I love rugby, but some of our best training partners are ex-rugby or current rugby players. So shout out to the rugby boys. He did ask, have you ever submitted anyone with a guillotine? So before Mark can answer this, not that I've seen, Scott, not that I've seen.
Oh, you're so bad. Just because I actually had Ken in the guillotine one time and I heard him snort, and he obviously got out, like, because I haven't actually submitted Ken, and when I do, I'm going to make it I'm going to do a whole episode myself on it. Because it'll make me that happy and piss him off so much. I don't think he's going to actually show up to record with me. But yeah, you're like, mate, I would have went out before I'd let you tap it, or before I tapped guillotine.
There's no ego in jiu-jitsu, and I'm
okay. Let's not lie to listeners.
I embody that sentiment, right? But if somebody lets me know something's important to them, and it's the same with...
you actually did tell me that when I said it.
It's the same with Rob as well. One of the brown belts at our gym, I nearly caught him with something once, and I didn't put it on because I was like, we're on the training room, and, I think because afterwards I told him, I was like, fuck, I nearly had that, and that would have meant a lot to me. Now he goes extra hard to make sure I never get in that position again, ever close to that again. And it's the same with you. You've told me you want something. I
fucked up.
Unfortunately, this is character building, mate. You can't have it. But
don't tell Ken that it would mean a lot to you if you submit him, and you might have a better chance of catching him. That's the tip of the day for anyone training at Matt House, or anyone we might go to another.
To be honest, I get tapped there so much that. I think it's only you that needs that advice at this stage, Mike. I think everyone else. I don't think anyone else is keeping score like that. So
no, in fairness, I have a good guillotine when it works, but it's 1 in 100.
Yeah, like Sex Panther.
Yeah, exactly. It works 166% of the time, all the time.
Yeah, it's effective.
I have it is what I've tapped all the higher belts with, though. I have tapped, like, not to be bigging myself up.
Sounds like you're bigging yourself up.
Okay, well, like, when you tap a higher belt, it's a great thing, but, like, I'm known from a guillotine, and thanks to Mr. T Tong, you know what I mean, he put me on that, T Van Z on Instagram, he put me on that guillotine pat, and, like...
Did he?
Yeah, and, like, I, like, straight away just started working, and I'll actually go into another bit about guillotines when we hit something later on that we're going to talk about.
Alright.
But yeah, I'd say it's my biggest submission against higher belts. Look, I get smashed all the time, but I think I look for guillotines too much. Actually, that's my flaw, and people know I'm known for coming for a guillotine, but probably escaping. And shout out to Steve as well with his iron neck. On his birthday, I tried to guillotine the fuck out of him, and he was gurgling away, and he still got out.
No, Fireman Steve.
Yeah, Fireman Steve. Yeah, he's just like, oh man, that man has an iron neck, like an absolute iron neck. I have to shout him out, like, because I was like, I'm going to tap him on his birthday. This is going to be hilarious. And he was like, not today, motherfucker. And then he pulled these MMA strength and force on me once he got out. Yeah, swept me, and then like crossface.
He's just got a good mindset, man. Like, he's got that kind of Goggins mindset. This year he's like just set himself a random challenge each month. Like the first month was like, oh, I'm just going to run
5 miles
a day, and then it was like, I'm going to do like
1,000 meters
on a row, and it's like, I'm going to cycle half marathon every day, something like that.
He's a beast, man.
Yeah, shout out to him. He'll do that on top of being a full-time fireman, London Fire Brigade, on top of doing his normal mat hours.
His kids and all, like, to look after.
Competing, he's got kids, like, good family man, like we were saying in the first or second episode, you make time for the stuff that's important for you, and that fella embodies it. So it's a big up, Steve. I haven't seen you in a while, so I'll hopefully catch up with you soon. So from one legend into a scumbag. So we've got a question. We got a question from Paddy that came in about a week
Paddy,
ago.
You dirty bastard.
Yeah, big up Paddy. Just joined the 30 club. Much love, mate.
We'll meet you for a drink shortly, mate.
Yeah, one day. So the question was, if you've had a light session and not too much heavy sparring in the gi, or the gi's not too wet, it's not stinking out, do you spray it down and reuse it more than once, or do you wash it every time you use? So
that's an actual question.
Paddy was actually supposed to attend to kind of explain why he's a smelly rat, but predictably he hasn't shown up, because Paddy doesn't show up to things, or he shows up for 5 minutes and does an Irish goodbye.
I think just for the listeners, the people that do listen and aren't familiar with Paddy and yourself, Paddy used to train with us, fellow Degen, always on the beers after. Ken really took him under his wing, had a lot of time for Paddy. Paddy decided to move to another gym, move into London, and broke Ken's heart. Yeah, so anytime Ken can stick the knife in about Paddy not being around, he does it.
Yeah, thanks for putting in the context there.
Because other people aren't going to get this.
I assume that most of the people that listen know us, but obviously for the people that don't, Paddy broke my heart, guys.
Yeah.
So yeah, jokes aside, Pad, like, I love you dearly, but hearing that question made me not want to ever roll with you again.
It's a bit disgusting.
Hygiene is super important, like in jiu-jitsu, and I did want to kind of do a piece on this. So I think, our gym, because we've got a high turnover of new starters, I almost think it's something that should be done on a kind of bi-monthly basis, because it's fine. I'm not sure if they'll listen or if we'll see them again. I'm not going to name names. I had a fella in an intro gi rolling with him the other day that's nails were so long. And so this isn't even a washing question, because I'm going to talk about hygiene as an overarching.
I think I've
overarching concepts. Wash your gis, wash yourself, and cut your nails. That's the kind of.
Even brush your teeth.
That's the rules. Yeah.
Even brush your teeth before you go train. I brush my teeth most times before I go train.
Put a little bit of deodorant on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Basic.
That's basic stuff. Basic stuff is, look, even if you're coming in, if you've been working all day and it's a 6:30 class and you can't get there, make sure you have a shower in the morning. Make sure you've showered. Do the most you can. If you've showered in the morning, at least you're clean that day, whatever way your work day goes. If you can fit time in for a shower beforehand, if you have a job that's demanding of you physically, like, try and get a shower. I'll always try and get, if I'm doing 7:30 class, I'll have a shower in the morning and I'll have a shower before I go to class. And that's just me, like. My nails, sometimes my toenails, I forget to cut them, because they grow fucking, sometimes you need to cut them every week, sometimes it could be every 3 weeks. It's fucking weird the way they grow. But always check your fingernails. Do you know what I mean?
Was it you that was saying that halfway through a comp you realised you hadn't cut your toenails and had to apologise to the guy?
That was actually on the mats there not so long ago, but I did on this other story that I want to drop about being a degen, which is my greatest accomplishment of a medal I have. A lot of people know. I'm not going to say it. I did actually go in with long nails. Not long nails, but I was like, should I cut them? And I was like, no, I'll be fine. And I kind of cut the guy a couple of times. And I apologise mid-comp, but yeah, that'll be a great story when I put that all together. I don't want to be going into.
No, we'll save it as one piece rather than kind of breadcrumb people. But yeah, like I think, well, everyone thinks hygiene is important. The only people that don't think hygiene is important is the smelly gi guys. What I was going to say was I had someone the other day in an intro gi whose nails were so long that when they gripped up, with the first bit of the technique was a grip break. First grip break, rips his nail off.
Wow.
And he says to me, I didn't see how long his nails were until after this.
Yeah.
So his nails ripped off because it's like snagged in the material. It's that long, it's snagged in the material and torn. Jesus. And he's like, turns to me, looks me dead in the eye. I was like, you just ripped my nail off. And I kind of...
this is where Ken goes, no mate, you're a dirty cunt.
And I kind of wanted to say to him, I was like, well, if it weren't so fucking long, it wouldn't have ripped, would it? And then it was a weird interaction where I offered him nail clippers and stuff, because obviously not everyone knows when they first come to jiu-jitsu. So he's in an intro gi, so I was like, oh mate, actually, like, having short nails is really important, because if you cut someone, they can get an infection that can, could be really bad. Like, we're talking like staph infection can
kill you.
Okay, well. Yeah, I think
in the worst case scenario.
Yeah, in the worst case scenario. But either
I heard the donkeys kill 8 people a year, like, you know what I mean? Just trample over them. So, like,
what?
Yeah, donkeys, like, trample 8 people a year and kill them, like, so, you know what I mean? Maybe that one time, there's more jiu-jitsu gyms.
Where are you keeping these donkeys, Mike?
A donkey sanctuary, I don't know, some mad cunt gets in.
Gets in and gets run over. And the donkey rides.
Man, you don't want to fuck with a donkey.
Are you sure it's not the donkey rides on the beach when the tide comes in and the donkeys are just so slow they can't beat the tide?
Man, tell you one thing, you don't want to fuck with a donkey.
No? If you sound like a man that's fucked with a donkey before, Mike.
Man, tell you, have you ever seen them? Like, they're scary as fuck. They're like a small horse.
They're comedic horses.
They're not comedic at all, man. Donkey will bite the fuck out of you. Anyway, yeah, sorry, not to be going on about donkeys, but yeah, they're not adorable, lovable creatures. Like, donkey bite you fucking way quicker than any horse will, or a dog probably.
This is a very Michael conversation. I've got nothing to add to this, but I'm happy to let him talk about donkeys for the rest of the episode if necessary.
Just pay money to a donkey sanctuary.
Yeah, send money to a donkey sanctuary. Donate, guys. But yeah, the fella refused the nail clipper in the end, and I had to say to one of whoever was coaching the class, I was like, look, I've tried with this guy, but can you have a word with him afterwards, because he's going to end up scratching someone, and it's going to, you get a nail in the eye, you could seriously do some damage. So guys, if you are new to jiu-jitsu, please wash your gi every time you train. Even like the coaches.
Febreze is not. Look, it's you sweat and people sweat on you. You're rolling on the mats, which have been rolled on by people as well. So the mats are absorbing the sweat. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not just because I didn't have a sweat. You've been rolling with other people and on the mats. Bacteria is picked up everywhere. Like, you just need to wash your gi every day. Don't be a smelly bastard.
This is a jiu-jitsu public service announcement. Would you put on a pair of boxers, let your mate wear them for a day, go for a run in them, and then let it, just let them sit on the radiator, crossed up overnight, and put them on the next day? If you want, for our female listeners, boxers, if you don't wear boxers, whatever underwear, you wouldn't do that. It's gross, and rolling around in other people's sweat, letting it dry out, and then putting it on the next day is like the same as it. So, guys,
and I'll tell you one thing. Do you know what's a game changer? Is them scented. You can get the Lenore, I like the brown ones. You put these beads in the washing machine, lads. They will make your shit smell fucking fantastic. Like, you'll actually be in your gi on, man, I smell fantastic.
Other fabric scented balls are available. You don't need to use the brand name Lenore.
Use the Lenore brown ones.
When the sponsorship comes through, we'll shout out Lenore. So this has been an episode where we've plugged a handful of products that we're getting absolutely no money for, guys. So
Magnar cider.
Yeah. So
let's go.
One day, mate. We'll get there. So yeah, that was the questions, guys. I appreciate all the interaction. I think Mike does as well. Like, we keep saying, there's just the little messages about a story I've told, or Mike's accent. People seem to love Mike's accent. To be honest, I think his voice is carrying this show at the moment.
I don't think so. I barely speak. You're carrying the whole show, mate.
It's my anecdotes strung together by questions in your accent, I think, is what makes it. But yeah, keep them coming, guys. We love the questions, we love the feedback, and let's have a quick recap of the week's training then. You were the man with no gi in Farnborough, weren't you? Yeah,
and that's I don't know why I came to the conclusion why they call it no gi, because someone like me rocked up to a gi class one day, and he said, "I have no gi," and that's why they call it no gi.
There we go.
That's what I took away.
That's definitely why in Ireland they call it no-gi anyway.
Yeah, so basically, Lucas, friend of the podcast, obviously episode 6, go back and listen if you want to find out more about Lucas.
5, wasn't it? 6 was the last one.
Was it 5? Oh, sorry, yeah, 5, yeah. Listen to them all. What are you doing? How are you on episode 7 and you haven't listened to episode 6 and 5? I see people out there with the numbers going up. Yeah, I see them. But anyway, yeah, sorry, that's just my own feelings of people listening to podcasts in weird orders. Yeah, so
Lucas in Farnborough.
Yeah, Lucas in Farnborough. He said, there's a class on there on Monday, bank holiday Monday, you want to come through? I said, oh yeah, cool, I'll come through. So I said to yourself and Rob, I said, you want to come through? Obviously you couldn't make it. I picked Rob up, we went down. Rob, of course, is prepared from probably an apocalypse because I lifted his bag out of the back of the car. He's just, I don't know, maybe kept, a gi and a no-gi set. There's probably an AK-47, a knife, a tent, something, I don't know. The thing was, the weight of it, Rob, you have to explain to me what's in your bag the next time we see. But Rob always comes prepared, and he had his gi, and everybody there had a gi, and I was the only one in no gi. And it was sickening because there was 2 black belts, I think 4 brown belts, 2 blue belts, a purple belt, 2 white belts.
It looked like a stat mat.
Man,
the photo I saw.
Like, for a bank holiday Monday, like, that would have been a real good opportunity for myself to get a good few rolls off higher level belts from a different gym, So I'm kind of envious about that. But there was a young lad there with the coolest name ever. He was called Columbus, and he was English. This is just coolest name. So he was a white belt, and he just said, "I'll do a bit of no-gi with you." So I was just showing him. I was actually showing him a guillotine, and I was leaving him start with a guillotine in, and then we actually had a sparring round, and I rolled with him for about 20 minutes, and I was getting really tired. Like, he's a young guy, and I'm not known for my fitness, as everyone should know by now. Yeah,
I mean, I think you're lying already. You say I was rolling for 20 minutes. I was like, I can't see it, Michael.
But I'd say we had 2 probably 10-minute rounds, and then a lot of drilling and stuff in between. But he's a cool guy, and he nearly caught me twice in the guillotine, because I didn't respect him enough. And you have to respect jiu-jitsu, lads, because it works. If it works, it doesn't matter size. Like, I probably had 25-30 kilos on him, and I was leaving him kind of get to the position, and Is that what it sounds like? Yeah, that's so pretentious, isn't it? But no, he did nearly choke me out, in fairness. Like, he did catch it one time and I was like, wasn't worried. I was like, just fucking pull his hand down. I'm stronger than this guy. I'm just going to pull his hand off. Nope, couldn't pull his hand off. And he jumped back. I was showing him how to put it and what way to torque. And he was like, I was like, I need to get my head out.
Don't worry, mate. If he got his guillotine tips off of you, he's never going to finish one.
Yeah, that's true. It's 1 in 100, like, but like, it's that one time.
That still sounds like a good trip, and like, you know, there are some gyms that if you turned up without a kimono and it was a gi class, they'd say no, fuck off.
No, they were sounding.
They still sound and let you train. I saw you got a photo.
Yeah, with Sean White as.
Yeah, he's just been announced on a. I can't remember the name of it for the life of me, but he was announced on a big tour that's going on this year with some real big names. He'll be competing on that.
He was talking about that. He's really up in his training apparently.
At 80 kilos. So I'll look that up and shout that out next week, because although, you know, he's not a direct friend of the podcast, he's one of Luke's
friend of a friend.
He's one of Luke's main training partners, and we've all had roles with him, and he's
sound.
He's sick. So maybe a guest for the future at some point if we can weasel that one on. But yeah, big up Sean, and good luck in the upcoming comps. I, on the other hand, didn't get a stacked mat with various people, but I did have a lovely couple of open mats. As I keep mentioning, guys, trying to make you all jealous, I live a 2-minute walk from my gym, so I had a pretty full-on weekend of shit going on, but still managed to make it to. We had a couple of open mats. It was a bank holiday weekend just gone, so got a couple of open mats, and they were good. You know, most of them only had 4 or 5 people on the mat, but we had a good range of, you know, from black through to white, and got some good rolls, gi, no-gi, and just kind of do what you want. It's the beauty of open mats, really, is that
you can chat shit if you want for the whole lot of it, or you can go in, take the jacket off, or else you can go up and change, get your shorts on.
Yeah, mix up some gi and no-gi rounds, and, you know, get...
It's a good chance for standing as well, I find, in our gym, because it's never packed, and you'll always have room to do a standing round if you want, like, you know. And
all I'm going to do is pull guards. So.
Yeah, I know, but I love standing. Yeah. I love starting from standing.
In no-gi, wrestling is fun, but yeah, no, we had a good couple of open mats. You know, again, it's just great that, you know, Mat House is open 7 days a week. To be honest, even bank holidays, it's like, you know, you can always squeeze in a training sesh. Unfortunately, couldn't make it over to Farnborough, even though I'd kind of committed to Cohen. So, you know, well done powering through on that and taking Rob, because it sounds like you guys had a good crack regardless. Although I'm sure I'd have added a certain type of humour that was absent from the session.
Yeah, no, we had a good time. To be fair, I felt a little, when we first went in, I just felt like we were the 2 Mat House boys in the corner, but then one of the lads asked Rob to roll, and I was like, well, no one's going to ask me to roll now, because I'm definitely the odd one out. Like, I'm the fucking ugly duckling here in the corner in no-gi. So, but everyone was sound. Everyone coming as they came in, shook everyone's hand into place, even though they didn't know me. Like, it's kind of cool. Like, you know, I'd say it's not a banging on about it, but it's just the way the community is. Like, I mean, if you come into the mat, they're just going to say hello to you. That was it. But we'll probably have Rob on the podcast. I've been trying to talk to him about it. I think he's a little bit apprehensive about it, but I think he's I think like it'll probably be the highest listened episode.
I don't know
when we get him on.
Eventually, yeah. I mean, he's such an interesting geezer that I can't
sound as fuck, man.
I can't help but think that he'd have some fun stories to tell, and, you know, he's got a unique way of communicating ideas and concepts that, you know, he's got. You don't get that perspective from anywhere else.
No,
like. So I'd love to have him on.
And he's worldly travelled as well, like.
Yeah, so I'm sure me and him can. He spent more time. He speaks more Portuguese than I do, and spent longer in Brazil. Well, it's not more tough to speak more than 2 sentences, but you know, he spent longer in Brazil than I have been. He's, you know, been all over, so hopefully got some tales there. The other thing we wanted to touch on, that kind of to tee up concept for the next episode, is loyalty. It was the 20 RGA's. Sorry, it was RGA HQ's 20-year anniversary week just gone. Our coach Dom obviously got his black belt from Roger for the Portuguese speakers.
Roger.
Never you know, Roger. Paddy, the gentleman who doesn't wash his gi that we spoke about earlier, he was there as well. He now trains at HQ, so, you know, it's nice to, you know, although our gym at the moment isn't under the Roger Gracie kind of affiliation, it's great for our coach to go back there and, you know, pay homage to where he got his black belt. And I think, you know, from what I've heard, from what I've seen in his comments, he said he's going to be trying to get back there to train a bit more frequently soon. So, yeah, it's like he's obviously loyal to the gym where he got his black belt from, and, you know, that he competed under for all those years. And I think that's a good, you know, the whole idea of Crianche, like someone who's disloyal to their gym. Is that a thing? Is that not a thing? Was it ever a thing? Should it have been a thing? I think that's quite a fun concept. We've got a teammate that you call Tommy Lucas and I call Tommy Creonche.
Just because I can't say that word.
Who hopefully will get on to kind of talk. He trains all over, but he's quite loyal to Matt House as well.
He competes under Matt
It's
House.
like a kind of a paradox in himself, but we'll get him on and get him his perspective on it. And if you've got any opinions on that or any questions about the whole loyalty Creonche concept, drop them in the socials. Where do people reach us, Marco?
Yeah, so Instagram always best. I put up something every now and again like questions. There is a WhatsApp link which I did have set up, but you couldn't actually ask any questions, so I was wondering why I wasn't getting any traction or any smart comments in. But I've adjusted it to a different group now so it can work. So there's a WhatsApp link, there's a link tree in the Instagram, and everything is there from the Apple podcast to the Spotify podcasts, Instagram, Twitter, anything you want to find us there. Our email address, everything is there, but it's degenbjj or degenbjjpod. And that's you'll find us everywhere there, and it's degenbjjpod@gmail.com for any emails you might want to get across. For Lenore for the sponsorship, or Magners, or Scramble. I want my sponsorship. They've offered a big flag, Scramble Ireland flag. It's free. You go on, just off to anyone on Instagram.
No, really?
I said, yeah, we get YouTube working up on the wall. Let's go.
Up on the wall, yeah, mate, for
you know
sure.
what I mean? So Scramble, and I love the Emerald Isle. Do more Scramble Ireland stuff, please. Please do more Scramble Ireland stuff.
If we're plugging stuff for free, to be honest, like all of their gis and all of their NoGi stuff I've got, I absolutely love. So it's a big up Scramble in terms of a balance of affordability and quality and cool designs. Love them.
Yeah, but just to leave it on there anyway. You have anything else to add or anything?
Well, we're off to Killarney this weekend, so that'll be less of the BJJ and more of the degen part of it. If we make it back alive,
he's coming to the motherland.
Yeah, Mike's going to show me around, and if we make it back, we'll record next week. But one thing I did want to comment on is looking at the analytics. Only one of our listeners out of all of you is over 60, which makes me think a lot of you aren't playing it to your nan, like I've suggested. So give her a listen, give us the feedback, drop questions in the comments, and we'll catch up with you next week, guys. Much love.
See you guys. Thanks very much.